Hello everyone, this is Easy again from mslumiablog.com, and this is a comparison video of the Nokia Lumia 730 and the Microsoft Lumia 535. Alright, so I've got here the Nokia Lumia 530 and the first Microsoft branded Lumia device, which is the 535. This is actually a low-end device, and this is the mid-range 730, the selfie-centric Lumia 730 from Nokia. Really, you shouldn't compare these two, but I did find a lot of similarities between the two of them. The main difference to me is the price difference. I would say the 730 cost twice as much as the 535 here. But I'm just gonna show you a quick comparison between the two. There might be some features in the 730 you would love and are willing to pay extra buck for than on the 535. So first of all, just see the 535 surprisingly is heavier, but then again it does have a 5-inch display screen, while the 730, which is a mid-range device, has a 4.7-inch screen and is lighter, weighs in at about 130 grams. The 535 weighs in at about 146. So they're almost the same weight, just a 16-gram difference, which you probably will not notice. They both have front-facing cameras at 5 megapixels. The back cameras, they both have a LED flash. The 730 has a 6.7 Carl Zeiss lens camera on it, so it's pretty impressive, while the 535 has a 5 megapixel VGA camera. I just turned it on, and let's see. So you can see one of the major differences. This is the new Microsoft branded Lumia device, the first of its kind, and this is the last of its kind, which is the Nokia Lumia 730. Both use the micro USB charging slots there. On the top, you just have your single 3.5mm audio jack. The same on the sides. No physical camera button, but you have your power buttons and your volume rockers there. So that they have a similar. The thickness is almost the same. It's pretty much the same. You can see the difference in thickness. It's actually 8.8 millimeters thick, while the 730 is 8.7. So basically the same thickness. So you have the same thickness, the same weight. I think where the difference comes into play is on the display. As you see, the 535 would be kind of slow. It does run a Snapdragon 200 quad-core 1.2 gigahertz processor, while the 730 runs a Snapdragon 400 quad-core 1.2 gigahertz Cortex A7 processor. The graphics on this is the Adreno 305, while on the 535 it is Adreno 302. Again, you can see right there, quick difference how sharp the screen is on the 730, and you can see how it just fades away on the 530. So on the 530 you have what we call it would be IPS LCD screen, much like what's on the the same technology that's on the 930. The only difference is the 930 has a sharp HD screen. On the 730 you have a OLED screen. Both have on-screen nav bars. I did the unboxing videos. You can check out more details about these individual phones, but for now we'll take a look at two of them. Both are protected by a Corning Gorilla Glass 3, so you have the same quality when it comes to protecting your LCD underneath. What else? The rest would be other specs are basically the same. When it comes to internal memory, both have the 8 gigabyte of internal storage. Both have 1 gig of RAM and micro SD cards that can support up to 120 gig of external storage. So when it comes to storage, they're both identical. The main difference would be in your imaging. On the 730, it does record 1080p at 30 frames per second, so you have HD recording on the 730, while on the low end 535 you can record just at 480p at 30 frames per second, so that's really low. So if you're looking for high a camera phone with high image quality, between these two, you obviously want to go with the 730. But if you're not that big on imaging, this Lumia 535 would do you just good. Let's see what else we have here. What the differences? So I think that's the main difference when it comes to the camera. This has a Carl Zeiss. This is just a regular 5 megapixel autofocus camera with LED flash. Both have LED flash, obviously. What else? What else? But basically everything else is the same. The main difference would be the CPU, how fast the CPU is, and also another difference would be the imaging, your cameras. So this obviously has a better camera on this. I did notice on the 535 there is no camera app, whereas on the 730 it has the default Windows Phone native camera app. But on here you have only the Lumia camera, which obviously is going to be a default camera app when we all upgrade to Windows 10. So I kind of found it interesting that Microsoft took out the basic camera app. Maybe it might be in there after I run the updates, because I just did a quick unboxing. I haven't had the time. I know there are a couple of updates, firmware updates available for the 535 here. In terms of pricing, the 535 is cheap at about $100, while the 730 is almost twice that. It's actually more than twice that amount. It runs at about $250 in comparison. Let's see, go back here. What are the differences? Then the battery on the 730 is a 2200 milliamp battery. It can last you up to 22 hours talk time, while on the 535 you have a 1905 or 1900 milliamp battery. Talk time is about 11 hours. But then again, that's another difference you might want to consider, but I don't think there's a lot of when it comes to battery performance between the two is almost identical. Oh, if anything, I think the 535 should last longer because of the lower CPU it runs and the lower spec screen display. So obviously it won't take a lot of, it's not a power consuming phone when compared to the 730. So this should last you long, even though the battery is 300 milliamps less than on the 730. So yeah, that is a quick look at the 535 compared to the 730. Both have Cortana. Obviously you can see the screen difference with a low-end device and a mid-range. Obvious differences there, but this is obviously going to be faster. They both would download the same apps, since they both have 1 gig memory RAM in them, so there's no segregation when it comes to downloading apps. They both run the same. But yeah, that is a quick look. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I'll be always available to answer them. This is Easy again. Thanks for watching. Bye.